He says, and know that every day that goes by, I am there and watching over them. I am at peace. He says, Matt, you let her know that soulmates always reunite. He says, and one day, she is gonna see me again in heaven. I have this soul that's coming through. There's this young male that's here that's in spirit. Who is that to you?
My boyfriend.
Okay. You're telling me boyfriend. I thought he was your fiance when I'm connecting.
We were together for 10 years.
Okay. He just showed me a ring that's here.
Yeah.
And, oh, you have the ring. Oh, no wonder why. You're telling me he wasn't your fiance, but he's saying, I gave her a ring. I gave her a ring.
It's a mother's ring, yeah.
Okay. Know that it's his way of acknowledging that he's here and that he's with you, because he's like, Matt, I have to come through. I have to come through. And first of all, when I'm connecting with him, he thinks this is so amazing that he can come through in this way. Like, he was really goofy when I'm connecting with him on the other side. He says to me, Matt, you don't understand. He says, when I lived my life here in this world, I didn't care what people thought of me, what people said about me, he says, anything that went on, he goes, I lived my own life. He says to me this, he says, Matt, I need to let her know that on the other side, I know that life was hard with me, he said. Because when I'm connecting with him, your loved ones tell me the truth, and nothing but the truth. I feel like I'm the Judge Judy of psychics. And when I'm connecting with him, he actually just showed me there were things that he was hiding from you here in this world when I'm connecting with him. Because when I'm speaking to him, I just saw that there was some addiction issues that he was going through here in this world. Do you understand that? Yes. And he's showing me pill bottles that are here that were not his when I'm speaking to him. He says to me, Matt, I need to let her know I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Because when I'm connecting, this is the reason why you fought. This is what kept him away from his kids. This is what kept him away from his family. This is what broke apart everything. Do you understand that? And he needs to let you know one thing, because this is sitting on your heart every single day. He says, but internally, you keep having such a hard time because you keep saying, what changed in him? What changed in him? He says, Matt, you need to let her know she never changed. I was the one who changed. He says, and I realize now, he says that I had done a lot of things. He says, I realized that I lied. He says, and I realized that I kept this hidden, and I realized that she tried to help me. He needs you to know this. But what's really tough is this. He also wants to thank you for giving him chance after chance after chance. That's what he's talking about. Because no matter what happened, no matter what fight happened, no matter what argument happened, he tells me you always let him back into your life. And I got to tell you, you were true soulmates here in this world, because he shows me that. He says, so even though we didn't get married, even though we never were able to walk down the aisle, do you know that he tells me that he knew that the two of you were going to end up with each other here in this world? He tells me that. He says, and Matt, he says, I gave her that ring, but I dreamed of the day that I could give her another one, because he tells me this. And he needs you to know that. Because there's still this pain in your heart that you carry with you every single day. He says, I'm here today to take that away. So you have his children here in this world?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he talks about the kids. And what's interesting is this. He says to me, Matt, he says, do you know that even though I'm not a part of their life, he wants to thank you as their grandmother for stepping forward and for helping to raise them. Because he tells me you're such an amazing part of their life. He says, and Matt, instead of them having, a mom and a dad, it's like they have two moms, because he's bringing that through. He says to me that when he first passed away, you vowed that you were going to step up to the plate and be there for those kids. He says, and do you know his soul is coming through to thank you for that? He also wants to thank you for not judging him here in this world. Because you knew that he was a good person on the inside. And you loved him like he was your own son. And I got to tell you, what he is so thankful for is he tells me that the two of you showed him what true love really was. He says, so he knows about the way that you try to go and live your life every single day and raise your kids like he's still there and with them. You try to think about how he would raise them, what he would say to them, right? And he even tells me, do you give them little messages from dad or tell them things that you think that their dad would say to them? He tells me he's there for those conversations. He says, and Matt, what I need to let the two of them know is that they have my blessing. They are doing everything right. He says, and know that every day that goes by, I am there and watching over them. I am at peace. He says, and the fact that my soul is at peace, I want them to be at peace as well. So know that this is his way in spirit of letting you know. Don't think of him as far away. Know that he is always there by your side. And you question one thing. You question if you're ever going to see him again. He says, Matt, you let her know that soulmates always reunite. He says, and one day, she is going to see me again in heaven. He says, there's going to be one difference. He says, I'm gonna be a totally different person because I no longer have to rely on the pills, he says.